Namaste. Shanti. Happy Easter. Happy spring. Happy Sunday. Shanti. Our meditation today, our time today, is on clearing the old patterns of life, resting in humor, a good thing, humor. The joyful sunshine of meditation and preparing the garden of your life for the flowers to arise. A few years ago, my husband and I moved to a house where we had gardens for the first time. Now, my father, as a child, was a farmer. My grandmother was a farmer. My grandfather was a farmer. But it was the first time that I could remember as an adult preparing a garden. And so I wanted to go out and plant some bulbs, some tulip bulbs. And I got out to the garden, and lo and behold, there were clods of dirt. It was clumpy, a lot of clumps. And I couldn't find a place to plant. It didn't feel right when I was planting. So I called my dad and I said, something's wrong here. And he said, well, you didn't till the garden, did you? And I said, till the garden? He said, yeah, did you get the hoe out and turn over the soil and break up the old clods? Did you take out all of the leftover died plants from last season? No, I didn't. I didn't realize that I needed to do that before I put tulip bulbs in. And he said, well, you can't plant anything unless you tilled the garden. Now, let me tell you, tilling the garden, when the garden hasn't been tilled for a while, it can be a little bit of work. You have to get out there with the hoe and pound down and, use your muscles to be able to turn over this soil that is cracked from the winter and dried from the winter, dried from not being tilled. And you need to break up the soil because you want it to be optimal for the seeds to come up. You want it to be a good environment for the seeds to come up. And so this is the time for us to till the soil of our sadhana, to till the soil of your life. It is springtime here. The sun has moved into Aries. It's the beginning of the sign of the zodiac. In some parts of the world, in some traditions, the birth of Jesus the Christ is celebrated. In other traditions, the death and rebirth of Jesus the Christ is celebrated. But in many, many traditions for eons here, the Egyptians, the Greeks, the Persians, the Indians celebrated this time of the year as a time of renewal, as a time of birth. Throughout these cultures, they use the egg. We have the celebration of Easter, we have the Easter egg, and the Easter egg comes in chocolate and it's dyed different colors if it's a chicken egg or a duck egg. Comes in cardboard. It's made in big displays all over the place. People make cards with the egg symbol on them. But the egg symbol is a universal symbol. It's a symbol of the universe. It's a symbol of the universe. That's not a very good egg. I get this is a better egg. The symbol of the universe. The egg has been a symbol of the universe that has been used for millennium. So expand your horizon of awareness. Realize that the holiday is not just a Christian holiday. but it is a holiday that is celebrated, a time of the year that is celebrated and honored throughout the centuries. And what are we trying to honor? What are we trying to celebrate? We're trying to celebrate the end of the winter and the beginning of the spring. Like this. The end of the winter, the beginning of spring. The end of death. What is death? I talk in Christianity about Christ being dead. Christ is the consciousness at your sun center. It's Buddha consciousness, it's Krishna consciousness, it's Christ consciousness. It's your self-conscious awareness. And to be dead just means to forget. It is just forgetfulness. That's all it is. It's forgetfulness. Nothing to be concerned about. Because in time, you know you are in time. You are living in a world of kala. You are living in a world of the egg. And in time, your awareness will return. Your awareness, your God consciousness, if you do nothing, it will return. And so you have the opportunity to do something. Today is your opportunity to do something. This week, this month is your opportunity to do something. This breath, this moment is your opportunity to do something. Do you remember the story of the wheat and the tares, perhaps? Many eons ago, in the time of the lords, certainly you remember the time of the lords when there was a lord, and the lord was responsible for everything, the good of the people, the good of the land. Tough job, tough job. In the time of the lords, there was a lord, and she was good, and she was wise, and she was kind, and the people were happy, the people were joyful, the people looked up to her. It had been a long, cold, dark winter. They'd had a pandemic. The food was shortage. There was a food shortage. The people were afraid. And the Lord needed to do something. And so she sent her land managers. She had managers for the land, people who could help. She sent them throughout the land and into other kingdoms. And she asked them to buy, to get, to trade for the best heirloom seeds that they could find. Seeds of pumpkin and cucumber and zucchini, little sprouts of trees for cherry trees and apple trees. But she asked them to look, if they would please, to see if they could find some good heirloom wheat, good heirloom wheat. So they went through all the lands and they picked very carefully. They went only to the best farms, got the best seeds, traded the best seeds, and came back with what they thought was the purest wheat, the purest heirloom wheat. And this was going to help the people in the coming year, in the coming years. They were going to avoid famine, and it was going to be good. All would be good. They tilled the fields. They got out there. All the people got out there with their hoes, and they turned the dirt over and stomped it down and used their hands to break up the clods so that the dirt was smooth. They made rows. And they carefully walked and put the seeds evenly among the rows. You know, that's a secret. When you're planting seeds, you can't just throw them all out. You're supposed to plant them in order with a proper amount of space between them. If you throw them all out, it's not so good for your crop, shall we say. So people watch. Beautiful, beautiful growing season. The sun is bright. The rain comes as it should, just the right amount of time. And in a few weeks, little blossoms come forth from the land. And the Lord comes out and she's pleased. But one day the land manager comes out and he looks and he says, uh-oh, we've got a problem. This is not all wheat. There's another plant in here. What happened? Calls all of the land managers together. This is the head guy, and calls them all the others. What happened? What did you do? We don't have just plain wheat here. Oh, this is a problem. They call the Lord. She looks out upon the land and she smiles and she says, all is well. Be not concerned. Well, should we pull those weeds out? Should we pull the weeds out? No. Just let them go. Just wait and see. So in time, the wheat grows and the other plant grows also. In time, they can tell what the other plant is. They go back to the Lord and they say, are you sure? Are you sure we should get in there and pull them out? She says, no. If you pull those out, you're going to pull the roots of the wheat out. Leave it. Trust me. Leave it. So it comes time for the harvest. And she calls them all together and she says, you know what those are? Those are tares. That plant is a tares. You know, if people eat the tare, they become like they're drunk. They become forgetful. They become cruel. They become careless. The tares are the bad habits that the people cultivate. This wheat, which we have grown so beautifully next to the tares, is their compassion, their kindness, their love, their sadhana. But the two grow together. Now, at the time of the harvest, I want you to take them and I want you to separate them. And the wheat will make into food that our people will eat. The seeds will be eaten by the birds. We will make baskets from the reeds. But the tares, you treat those tares with greatest care. And you pile them in these new structures that we've made for them. For these tares are the fuel that we need to warm us in the winter. These tares are the fuel that we need to keep our ovens running. For we have no trees here. We must have fuel. The tares are the fuel to keep our food cooked. The tares are the fuel to keep our children and our old people warm at night and to keep you warm. The tares are the fuel for the water that boils, for your tea, for your rice, to wash your hands when you come from the fields. The tares are the fuel for the fire that warms your life. They smile. They still don't get it. They smile. They think they get it. And she says, the tares are the ground for your sadhana, my beloved. The tears are the grounds for your sadhana. Without the grounds for your sadhana, without a way to do your practice, without the grounds for your sadhana, you have nothing. What do you have without these grounds? If you just had wheat, you would have no place to do your practice, no way to do your practice, nothing to be the foundation for your practice, nothing to be rubbed against. So how do we begin? It's springtime. You need to till the soil of your life, till the soil before you plant the seeds. You need a hoe to do that. The hoes are made of iron, usually. They're made of a heavy metal. Before there was metal, they were made of wood or harder sticks. Saturn is metal. Saturn is the foundation of your life. So how do you till the foundation of your life? What is to be done? What do you do? Well, you look at the tears of your life. Now, I didn't say you tear apart the tears. I didn't say you throw the tears out. I didn't say you judge the tears. I said you observe the tears. You look at the tears. Maybe not so pleasant to look at all of them, so you look at one or two. You look at your personality traits. You look at your life, and you very simply ask a simple question. What would I like to change? Not all 50 million things, but just the one little thing, one petite little thing that I would really like it to be different. It's been a problem. I would like it to be different. And you take that. You say, aha, now, how can I till the garden of my life? How can I till my thinking? How can I till my behavior, my speech, my behavior, so that I can plant a new seed? Now, you may not know this. Another story. The Lord came out and she said to the people, take some of those seeds, take some of the tare and take some of the wheat. Take that rock, that stone there, and heat it. Heat it in the fire. And then I'd like you to put a few seeds of wheat and a few seeds of tare on a stone. Heat them up. Not until they pop, just heat them. And thus they did. She said, now plant them in this special garden over here. And they did. And while the wheat grew around and the tares grew all around, nothing, not one thing came out of the ground in the space where the wheat and the tare seeds had been planted after they had been heated by the fire. Your fire is your tapas, your spiritual energy. The fire of your life is your sadhana, your spiritual effort. I said effort. Remember, I said effort. It takes effort. That means you have to think about it. You have to do something. It's not sitting here reading a book. Well, reading a book is doing something. Now, if you sit here and do nothing, spring still comes. If you sit here and do nothing, in time you will be enlightened. My guru said you could sit here and do nothing, and in 100 trillion years you'd be enlightened. that everyone will find their enlightenment. But the yogi, the seeker, the mystic, they've realized, I am not thinking I want to wait that long. I want to do something quicker. And so you use the fire of your tapas, your spiritual energy, to neutralize the karmas, to neutralize the bad habits. Now you see there was wheat planted there along with the tares that were together. And so it is the karma that is being neutralized. Now, I remember the first time that I heard that it was all the karma that was being neutralized. Now, I wanted to sift through. I wanted to only have the challenging, difficult karma neutralized, not the good karmas, not the easy karmas. And my guru said, no, that's not the way it works. Karma is neutralized. Karma is neither good nor bad. It simply is. And your experience dictates whether you think it is good, whether you experience it as beneficial, whether you experience it as easy or challenging. And so you need to say, okay, what can I do? What little thing? I want to make a change here. What's the first change? Now, in order to plant, you have to till. So I'm saying this 15 times this morning. In order to plant, you have to till. You have to prepare the ground. And so I'm going to suggest that you make a vow. Why a vow? Well, if you make a vow, maybe your personality will say, I need to keep this. I need to do this. This is something I need to do. And the first thing is simply to accept your personality as it is. Just accept it. Just accept your personality and accept your life as it is. You have wheat growing. You have compassion and kindness and happiness and joy and times of meditation and love. And you have tares growing. Anger and irritation, jealousy, greed, gluttony, violence, all these things. And you may say, oh, those are harsh words. No, I didn't say you have a lot of it, or, a petite amount, or a little bit more in some areas. It matters not. It matters not. Accept where you are. As you accept where you are, approach this time, approach this entry into the spring as if you are your friend. Think of yourself and think of what it would take to be your best friend, how you would want that person to treat you, to behave towards you, to act towards you, and act the same way towards yourself, with kindness, with love, with understanding, and with compassion. And then go and look at your life and accept it. Number 2, and this I think takes a little more effort than the acceptance. It takes effort. As you look at your life, be aware of how much of your language, I think is a simple way to put it. Be aware of whether or not you're constantly criticizing yourself. Do you call yourself names? Do you make a mistake and say something or think something derogatory about yourself? Neti, 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 neti. Let go of it. Let go of that thinking. Let go of that idea that you should be spending your life criticizing yourself. Stop it. Just let go of it. And every time you find yourself saying the critical thinking, the negative thoughts about yourself, use that neti, neti, neti practice. Let it go. You are not that thought. You're not the thought thinking of that thought. You're not thought. If there's anything you can do to till the land of your life, it is to let go of the self-critical thinking. You cannot free yourself, cannot find joy and happiness if you're constantly criticizing yourself. No, I don't like this, or oh, I don't like that, or oh, I made a mistake, or oh, how could I have done this? Neti, neti, neti. For the third time, let go of criticizing yourself. And then the final thing. Look at what change you could make today. What very, very small change could you make that would be easy to keep, that would help you to find time in your life for laughter, for joy, for meditation, for happiness, or help you to find more time in your life for laughter, for joy, for meditation? There was a person who was telling me that they set their alarm clock to get up early every morning, but their alarm was on their phone. And every time the alarm would go off, the first thing they would do is go to the phone and start to scroll through email and start to look at the activities for the day, and then go to Facebook to see if anything had happened in the last hour since they went to sleep, for the last 3 hours. And before they knew it, the first hour of their morning was gone. So they turned to the news, went and read the news. And then the next hour of the morning was gone. And their mood was not very good. They'd woken up feeling hopeful and in a good mood. And they had shifted their mood before even getting out of bed. So what do? You take the phone, you turn it off. Hard to believe, the world's not going to end. You turn it off. You put it in another room. You put it in another place. When you get up in the morning, when you first open your eyes in the morning, you need to find something to say that is going to be affirming to your life, to your intent, to your goal. For some, it is Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. For others, it is Om Bhurabhuva Svaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. For others, it is I shall now embrace strength on the path of maturity. I shall now embrace concentration on the path of maturity. I shall now embrace awareness on the path of maturity. I shall now embrace detachment on the path of maturity. And for others, it is today I will be happy. At this moment, I am happy. Every day in every way, I am becoming more and more content. Every day in every way, I am becoming more and more content. Every day in every way, I am becoming more and more content. You need to find the words, my beloved, that are going to be meaningful to you. But say them the first thing you wake in the morning, before you get out of bed. Say them the last thing before you sleep at night. The same words. Vivifying your life with happiness, with joy. Vivify your life with contentment. As you plant these seeds Make the small change. The small change will lead to the bigger changes. The one small change. No. Somebody was telling me, and the family was telling me that they had gotten chocolate Easter eggs for Easter, chocolate eggs, and they said they put them in a bowl. They were surprised at how fast they went. And I said, well, did you think about putting a top on the bowl, or did you think about putting the bowl in the other room where you would have to walk a little farther for them? Or did you think about not putting all of the eggs out in the glass basket at the same time? Any of those things are a small change. My mother-in-law used to keep a bag of little butter mints, little tiny square pillow-shaped butter mints in the cabinet, and she'd keep it for when her lady friends came over. And I was always amazed that when I'd go to the cabinet to take dishes out for the meal, there was always a bag, but she never ever served these mints. She never offered me a mint. She never served the mints when we were home. They were always there. And I liked those kind of mints, but I never, never asked. And I guess one day I broke down and I said, well, Mom, what's with the mints? How come you never serve them? No, those are for the ladies. When the ladies come over, when my friends come over. And I think it was for potluck or something like that. But even if the bag had been opened, Mom would roll it up and tape it shut and then put rubber bands around it to try to keep it ready for the next time, And I really look at that, I think back at that, and I think she knew there was a time and a place for that sweet, that candy that she liked. And she taped it shut when it wasn't the time for it. And thus the whole bag didn't get eaten before the next time. And so that's a small change, right? She didn't leave the candy out in the dish. She just put enough out for the day, rolled it up, taped it shut, and it was done with. What's the change that you could make today? Is it putting the candy away? Is it finding a way to cultivate more happiness in your life? Is it bringing humor into your life? A dear friend of mine is having a big health problem, and he's undergoing chemotherapy now. And so part of his sadhana, part of his spiritual discipline, is he goes out every day and finds a joke. He goes out every day and finds a funny movie to watch, finds a funny video to watch, finds something funny to read. He says it's to improve the health of his immune system. But it's sadhana. Can you do that? Can you go out and find a book of, we used to have in my family, Oli and Lena jokes from Minnesota. If you're from Minnesota, you know Oli and Lena. And they're very corny jokes. They're really very, very corny jokes. But whenever I say that name, I can see my mother-in-law telling the joke and just laughing. She used to think those jokes were so funny. What jokes will make you laugh? What songs will make you laugh? What movies will make you laugh? What vignettes will make you laugh? What books will make you laugh? Find something that will bring humor into your life, that will take some of the heaviness, the seriousness away. And if you have trouble with that, then chant a mantra. A good mantra to bring laughter and joy into your life is a mantra to Ganesh. Om Gum, Om Gum, Om Gum, Gum. Gum, gum. Gum is spelled G-U-M, and it's the sound that the elephant riders make when they're trying to ask the elephant to come along. They say goom, 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 goom. And the Lord Ganesh is the man with the elephant head, the symbol of the eternal memory, laughter, joy. Chant a mantra, find something to bring the joy into your life. And then, as we are going to do now, rest in meditation. Find the sunlight, yeah, attune to the sunlight of your being, the sun of your very being at the sun center. Light it, ignite it. Not light it, ignite it. It is always lit. It has always been ignited. Pay attention. Turn your attention there, and everything, all energy will flow to the sun center. And so on this day of the spring, on this day of Easter, on this day when the sun is in Aries, as are some other planets in Aries at this time, change what needs to be changed in a small way, you know. When you go to till a garden, you might look at the garden and say, well, this has to be tilled, but it can't all be done at once. It's done one hoe at a time, one row at a time. And even when you have to use a rototiller, a rototiller is a machine that can either be electric or it can be manually done, but the rotor is longer and you can till more of the land at one time. You don't have to use a hoe. You can use a rototiller to till your land. What is the rototiller? The rototiller is your meditation. The rototiller is quieting of the mind. The rototiller is vivifying and strengthening your meditative lifestyle. Truly, the rototiller is meditation and your Kriya, breathing the Kriya breaths. For those of you who know that Hamsa Kriya is a rototiller, Ai Kriya is a rototiller. Meditation, any meditation that you do is a rototiller. Sadhana, continual practice, is your rototiller. And so rest in meditation, cultivate humor, be kind to yourself, and know that before you could plant the seeds, the flowers that you wish to bloom in your field, that you need to use situations in your life, the karma in your life, the challenges in your life, the difficult personality traits. You need to use those as your sadhana. And they will allow you to bring forth a garden of flowers, a garden filled with vivifying food that will nourish every cell of your being. And so let us turn to meditation. Before I do that, let go of judging yourself. Please, let go of judging yourself. It doesn't have to be for a long time. You don't have to say, oh, I can never judge myself again. Just for a nanosecond, just, not even that, just let go for a nanosecond, not even that much time. And it will be like unplugging the electrical current. You will find happiness, you will find joy. Do not worry about the perfection of your sadhana. This story, remember the story. I will tell you a story, then we will go into meditation. It was a very wise monk, the Swami, right? Very learned. He'd go from town to town teaching people, highly respected. One day he's walking by a lake and he hears in the distance, ow, ow, ow. And he thinks, oh my goodness, that poor soul, I need to help him. I'll go out and tell him how to correctly pronounce the mantra. So he gets in the boat and he goes out to the island and he says, sir, excuse me, ow, ow, ow. Excuse me. Oh, yes. Swamiji, how nice you came to visit me. Oh, namaskar, namaste. I'm so glad, grateful to see you. Please, can I make you tea? No, I have to be going. I just came because I was concerned about your welfare. Oh, I'm so grateful that you stopped by. Well, you're saying that mantra wrong. Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, please teach me the right way to say the mantra. Om, om, om. Can you get that? That's the right way to say the mantra. Yes. Thank you. You sure you won't stay for some tea? No, I have to be on my way. Gets in the boat. Splash, goes out. He's halfway back to land and he hears little splashing. Swamiji, excuse me. And he turns around and hears the little yogi. And she's running across the water. And she says to him, Swamiji, excuse me. How do you say that mantra again? And he turns and he says, Aum, Aum, Aum. It was her sadhana. Namaste. And now focus your attention at the altar or at the point between your eyes, if you will. And close your eyes for our meditation. Turning your head to the left with a double exhalation. Bring your head back to the center. Begin to watch your breath. Take a long, deep inhalation and let go with the breath. And do this 3 times. Pull the energy, use the sipping breath, and pull the energy from the limbs of your body to the trunk of your body. And again, pull the energy from the trunk of your body to the spinal column. From the base of the spine, pull the energy up to the sun center. Move that energy out as a golden light in front of you, sweeping around to the left, behind you, to the right, and in front of you. Encase your entire being in golden light. And do this 3 times. And now ascend above the room that you are in. Above the land that you are on. Ascend above the planet. And as high as you are able. Ascending to the high place. Ascending to the place of meditation. Entering the loka of meditation. Find your meditation spot. Looking around you, be aware of the beauty that you see, of the light, the colors, the warmth. Become aware that this sacred spot is filled with the meditative energy of all of the meditators of all time. Focus your attention at the sun center upon your mind's eye. Let this mind's eye become 3-dimensional for you. A clear screen, a high definition screen. Breathe. Let the breath of your being flow to your sun center. Now at this moment, in your mind's eye, bring forth that form of life that is most beautiful to you at this moment. The object of life, the form that is most beautiful to you at this moment. The object that is most beautiful. Bring it clear in your mind's eye. Allow the camera of the mind to sharpen the object of beauty. See it. Feel the object of beauty. Smell the object of beauty. Touch the object of beauty. Hear the sound of the object of beauty. Taste the object of beauty. As this beauty is at your sun center, breathe your breath upon the object of beauty. Holding the object of beauty at your sun center. See it become golden light. See and feel that object of beauty and its golden light begin to pour down through your spinal column. See it dissolve at the sun center and pour its golden light down your spinal column. Feel that beauty radiate into the fullness of your body, into the fullness of your being, expanding beyond your spinal column into every cell of your being. Feel your mind, your body, your entire being filled with the beauty that thou art. This form of life most beautiful to you at this moment. This golden light dissolved in every cell of your being. Continue to breathe the beauty. Om. 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 With the next radiate that beauty which thou art into the universe, sending that beauty to all of those you love, to all you know, to all you don't know, whose names you remember not. Radiate the beauty that thou art. Om. 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 Feel every cell of your being filled with Ananda, Ananda, Ananda. The Ananda that fills the beauty of life, the Ananda that thou art. Hold that bliss, that joy, that happiness. Sip upon it, sup upon it. Know that thou art that. As you till the garden this week, sup upon the beauty that thou art. Sup upon the Ananda of life. Find joy, find happiness, bring laughter and humor into your life. Today and each day, one petite change will change your world, will change your life. When you are ready, come back from your meditative place, holding that sweetness, that love, that joy. Hold on to it with every breath that you breathe. Namaste. Namaskar. Be thou blessed. Be thou blessed. Be thou triply blessed. Continue to become an ever greater blessing unto all of those who enter your aura. Thank you for the blessing of your joining today, for the blessing of your vibration, your presence, your meditative energy. It is such a joy to share this time with you. And I thank you. Thank you for making the effort to be here, making the effort to lift your vibration so beautifully. Shanti. 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 Shanti.